Sandy Floss news and no political spin. This is Truth Radio by Internet. Thanks to our sponsor, neemwell.com, because here, the expression is still free. The independent international investigation of 9/11 resumes by taking a close look at Alex Jones and the Temple of Doom. Doom, I tell you, doom. You're on the next level on breakfornews.com.
Would you do me a favor and push me on to the next level?
And this is Fintan Dunn reporting. You're very welcome to the next level on breakfornews.com. I'd also like today to extend a special welcome to YouTube listeners who may be tuning in to Break for News for the first time. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you also join in on the forum, where you will get some intelligent discussion. Breakfornews.com forum is something special, and I would encourage you to join in. By way of introduction to new listeners, I'm an online journalist, or what the Mail and Guardian would call a conspiracy theorist, and indeed they did. Back in April 2002, arch-conspiracy theorist Fintan Dunn was the description of the Mail and Guardian, but the Village Voice was a little kinder in 2004, saying that I was well-spoken with what seemed to be an expansive and nuanced view of world politics. Nuanced meaning I don't see things in black and white, and I think that's what you'll find on Break for News. Today, our 9/11 3i investigation resumes. That's the independent international investigation of 9/11, which we started last year. But of course, regular listeners will know that yours truly has been on the job on the 9/11 issue since our first articles were published about 7 and 14 days after 9/11. You can get more on that and those articles at fintandunn.com. That's FINTANDUNNE.com. As I say, we kicked off that investigation last year, and you'll find that in the forum on breakfornews.com. A lot of good work's been done there already, and we took a break over the winter. We're now kicking off with this special episode today. It's a very serious subject, but you can't let the serious side overwhelm you. You've got to keep a balance, and you'll have trouble keeping the serious side going, because in addition to hearing yours truly today, you'll also be hearing quite a good bit from this guy.
Chanting satanic slogans, blood being used, and bathing them in it. Can you imagine what these people, fruitloop, cuckoo, cuckoo. This is your big intellectual rebuttal to me.
Yes, none other than Alex Jones, a broadcaster out of Austin, Texas, who has become rather infamous on the 9/11 issue. And we'll be taking a close look at Alex Jones and his operation. It is a disinformation operation, a psychological warfare operation, been run by the people who were behind the 9/11 attacks. And we'll be taking a good close look at exactly the part that Mr. Fruitloop Alex Jones plays in that operation. In his radio broadcasts and through his website Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.tv, Alex Jones has been an integral part of the cover-up of the 9/11 attacks. But besides that, the psychological warfare aspect of his operation is to focus on what he describes as a globalist plan to move us forward into a new world order, a world government where everybody gets microchipped and the concentration camps are only months away. It's a well-funded, closely scripted and slick operation which is designed to intimidate opposition to that very self-same New World Order. You know the one that was announced by George Bush Sr. And regular listeners to the show know that George Bush Sr. is the real power behind the throne of his idiot son. Now, Alex Jones, although he is regarded as a complete nutcase by many people on the left of US politics, and that of course is by design, he's attempting to put them off serious consideration that the 9/11 attacks were an inside job, but he has, along the way, managed to interview some fairly heavyweight people, including 2 ministers of government, a former cabinet member in the British Labour government, and Andreas von Bülow, for example, who held a security position in the German government. Not only that, but recently Charlie Sheen, the actor, and, for example, David Lynch have appeared on Alex Jones's show. And Sheen, Von Bulow and Michael Meacher have gone on the record on his show with their doubts about the true nature of the 9/11 attacks. But what you need to know, especially if you're one of those new listeners joining us from YouTube, is that back on the 5th of August 2004, this website named 108 websites on the internet which were either knowingly or unknowingly participating in the cover-up of the 9/11 issue, and we called them the CIA fakes, although of course the central aspects of the 9/11 attacks were extra-governmental. And CIA fakes is in any event a shorthand for the combined black operations of the G8 intelligence services running all the way from the US straight across to Russia, and representing the most powerful economic forces on the planet. And what's going on here is a variation of the old expression, if you can't beat them, join them. Those who pulled off the 9/11 attacks had a brainwave. They would go one better than joining them. Rather than fight those who would doubt the official version, they determined to be those who would doubt the official version. We have since then gone on the record to say that Alex Jones is one of those who is knowingly participating in the cover-up of 9/11. You'll hear in this broadcast evidence that the CIA fakes are reacting to what breakfornews.com is doing and are attempting to cover their asses as we continue our investigations, both the work I do and the work being done by others on the forum. And we're going to keep this work up until the truth does come out, and that day may be sooner than you think. I did warn people back in 2004 that these websites and broadcasters would scale down their operations, would deliberately discredit themselves increasingly, trying to drive away their own supporters, trying to disillusion everybody, staging fake wars, fake controversies between themselves, and so demoralize those who are seeking to have the truth come out that the issue would fade from view, just like the neocons. And that is precisely what's happening. There have been many spats in the 9/11 movement, not least of which RBN, Republic Broadcasting Network, had one recently. Prior to that, it was the ST 9/11, the Scholars for 9/11 Truth operation, which had its internal wars. All of these are deliberately contrived in order to try and break apart the 9/11 Truth movement. So, here we go with Alex Jones. You're about to hear some excerpts from a recent show on Infowars.com, and other than one little piece where we had him appear to say that he's being paid by the same globalists that he's opposing, this is untouched audio from a broadcast earlier this week on the Alex Jones Show. If you're doing something important like cutting onions or drinking coffee, I'd advise you to put it down, because you might fall around the place listening to this. Here we go. The deliberately contrived degeneration of Alex Jones from serious 9/11 investigator into complete fruitcake is clearly well underway.
Can you face these issues? It's just it's incredible. So again, this is diabolical. The globalists are the same people that funded Hitler, the same people that funded me. I forgot about that. They're in control today. If you take this stuff, you're off your rocker. Go ahead, you're on the air. Here's the CDC saying it'll make your daughter bleed out her nose and die, and flopping around on the ground. That's how we fight these bastards.
And that, I'm afraid, is where we have to leave this show for this YouTube version of the recording. The full show runs to 1 hour, and you can get that on breakfornews.com. If you're listening to this very soon after the 9th of February, then it will be on the homepage of breakfornews.com. If not, go to the audio archive of Break for News, and you can listen to the rest of this show there. Just look for the one for the 9th of February 2007. This has been Fintan Dunn reporting. Do catch the rest of the show, and thank you for joining us on YouTube.
You always keep me warm, hold me safe and away from harm. Keep day from night, and as the day fades, burn a candle right for me. Will you always keep me warm?